today, the episode of Wrong People is dedicated to mental health.
Mental health.
It's a very general topic, but it is a topic that we believe that we
have to go through.
We have to go through, exactly. Overall, mental health is very wide range. Professionals are working together. Neurologists are one of them.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean...
Let's go back to the first episode. Are they?
Sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it requires many different parts of human beings. Mental health, physical health, and mental health is maybe two main topics.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, exactly.
You forgot your definition
of mental health.
This is more interesting than the other definitions, I would say.
Can you please?
Because an older idea of mental health is the lack of mental illness.
New one is?
Which one is? This is boring.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like in physical health, you're just not ill.
Yeah, but it's not only, I believe, lack of illness, but also being able to enjoy life. Yeah. Yes. And
because mental health is more interesting than physical health.
Definitely.
And it shouldn't just be a lack of an illness,
yeah,
but it has to be rich. And
well, there are too many ways to enjoy this life, right? Drugs, sex,
alcohol, murder.
So many. How do we higher the standards of our lives? How do we make our life more quality? Which will eventually affect our mental health, of course.
By saying that just the lack of an illness isn't enough means that your mental health should also include being creative, productive,
definitely,
and content. I believe those three.
Well, lack of illness, I believe, only can be the beginning of
it's the foundation.
It's a foundation, exactly, because that's the main thing. And while you are in pain, you cannot think of the quality of your life. So pleasure is a key. It's a big role that plays in the mental health. But do we mean the pleasure by pleasure like letting yourself? Yeah, hedonism. Hedonism is actually, I believe hedonism is really good philosophy, and
I like it.
In the center of
hedonism. I myself am something of a hedonist.
Yeah, me too. But in the center of hedonism, there is this, it's balanced. So hedonist, yes. I'll give you a very nice example. If you do eat good food non-stop all the time, eventually you will get used to it, and your threshold will be lower and lower to have the same amount of pleasure from the same food. So actually, a big part of hedonism is fasting. You have to fast because I will tell you, the most delicious food is the food that after the fasting, because you are so hungry and no matter what you eat, it comes very delicious.
I understand what you're saying. I fast during the night.
Yeah.
and in the morning, I break my fast.
Fasting.
Yeah? Now we agree.
Also, what about other topics too? It goes the same. That when you hold yourself a bit far away from the things you like, that is pleasurable, I believe you enjoy it more. So
yeah, that is true. We're having jokes here, but it is true, and it's also linked to dopamine. Not getting that short burst of dopamine so that you can get the big one in the long term.
So after all, diving yourself into ocean of pleasures are not good. Yeah, it's not actually healthy for your mental health.
Healthy. You can just have a swim for a few days,
but eventually you have to come out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Do you?
Well, sometimes
depends on your poison.
Depends on your poison.
With food, you can do that all the time. It's fine.
Yes.
With alcohol, it's going to be a bit harder.
It
Although
kill you faster.
you know how to treat a hangover, right?
How?
With hair of the dog that beats you. So you can do that with alcohol as well.
Definitely.
We got a bit lost.
Yes, let's go back to mental health again.
Maybe hedonism is something that is quite close to us. But we were at the point of saying that mental health involves being content, which includes pleasure as well. And if you want to be creative and productive, I believe this is one of the higher steps in mental health. And you should have formed everything beneath it so that you get there.
I believe in such case, Maslow, there is
exactly what I meant.
Maslow's pyramid.
You cannot really be creative while being homeless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there is a certain.
We can try that though.
Being homeless.
Yeah. And
Definitely we can try. It would gain us lots of empathy or
hate.
Yeah. Certain amount of hate maybe is also good for our mental health. If you are not hated by at least few people, maybe you are not doing your job.
Going back to the emotional travel from the emotions episode, you have to have some to form a character.
Overall, I will go back to this. I know it's boring, but mental health is very much related to balance. Balance in every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
Physical health, mental health, and there should be certain balance of everything. If you do anything too much or too less, it plays with your mental health. So
you have to be a centrist, right?
Exactly.
A shout out to my centrist friend Stephanie. I have a friend that is very, very passionate about centrism. Yeah. Like I said, I like your ideas only if the amplitude is high enough. If you go far away from the center and go back to some point. If you're too much around the center all the time, you're just being rigid and boring.
Definitely. There is this metaphor usually people are using in psychology that on this screen of heartbeats, there's always ups and downs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if the line is straight,
you're dead.
You are dead. So centrism in such perspective is not good. So we definitely have to have ups and downs in life, but that also has a certain hidden balance in it, ups, downs. It's
true. Although some parts of the electrocardiogram shouldn't be elevated, or you're having a heart attack. So maybe you should choose what your ups and downs are. After all,
overall, do you think that the mental health in the world and in our society is improving or it's decreasing? What do you think?
Doesn't matter what I think. It's a fact that it is
statistics
getting worse.
Okay.
It's actually funny. I remember when I was a child, I was quite surprised by a paper that said that the World Health Organization says that by 2025, a quarter of people of the population will have a mental illness. That didn't happen, but it almost did.
Yeah, there was
because
a huge
right now, it's very hard to evaluate that, and different sources give you different information. But one says that 22% of Americans have some kind of mental illness, which is pretty much a fourth of it, almost a fourth of it. So that actually happened, almost happened.
Yeah, and it is very contradictory, considering that we develop so much technology so we can have a free time for ourselves, to feel more comfortable. We spend less time of washing our clothes, struggling with the main struggles in the world. But now we have more free time. You would think that we should be mentally more actually available, happy, and we have more free time for ourselves. But somehow freedom does not give that
I've never had less free time than now, so I cannot really comment. But that didn't happen. That's true. If we talk about factors that made mental health worse, we can name a lot.
Oh, definitely. Social isolation is one of them. Technology really kind of connected us the whole world is now more connected, but when it comes to quality of that connection is way less. Before, we tend to have more real face-to-face social connections.
That's true, of course.
We didn't see maybe someone that we know from like 30 years before. We didn't need that connection. Now on Facebook or wherever you want, you are connected to those people.
But what?
Exactly. Do you really need that connection? So it is really important nowadays for our mental health to remember how many real connections we have, like how many friends you have that you are going out with, having a good time, eating, drinking. By the way, this is also very important for the mental health. You know, there are these researches on longevity, what people do to live long and happy. And the social actually connection, being social is one of the most important thing. It's even more important than physical health, actually. You see that they use alcohol, they smoke and so on. But because they have really good social, strong connections within their community, they tend to live longer. Social support.
Exactly.
So I would say that this is a very, very important topic for us on mental health, social connection, and if the world is getting more connected or we are becoming more and more alone, I believe I will be lying about exactly the percentage, but almost 45% of males in America between 20 and 30 years ages right now are alone. They are really like
not in a romantic relationship.
Yes, and they really consider themselves isolated. And mainly they play games in not in a basement, but at least in front of computer, or they do not go out for a drink anymore. There was this guy, I don't remember his name, but he was talking about in one episode that the main problem of our upcoming generation is that they don't drink and do stupid things anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
I partially agree,
Yeah, nightlife is dying everywhere around the world. Bars are closing down. Yeah, that's because of generational differences in having fun. If you're having fun and how you're having fun. That's true.
There is a huge economical perspective of the mental health. Do you think a bad mental health is beneficial for the economy?
No, in any way it is not. Definitely. There is no country that wouldn't be better off economically if its mental health improved. That is for sure. It's a burden, of course, and also an economical one. But I would say that this is definitely not the biggest problem in mental health.
Yeah, but what do you think about pharmacology? Happy pills, pharma is a big market, and the usage of antidepressants are really raised in the last 20 years.
But discussing that as a reason for the status quo sounds a bit unrealistic, definitely.
Alcohol is cheap. Not exactly. Actually, antidepressants are way cheaper than alcohol.
Especially if you're a connoisseur.
Literally, like one box of antidepressants costs like 6-7 euros.
They're on the essential
for the whole month. So
they're on the essential list of the World Health Organization. So they're cheap. But psychotherapy is expensive.
I agree.
And if we're talking about mafia, it would be you, not the pharmaceutical.
Okay, you got me. Well, that's true. A part of mental health is the core is psychologists and the psychotherapy sessions. Again, with the collaboration of many other doctors, but mainly mental health ends up after all the doctors, ends up in the psychotherapy sessions.
Yeah.
And those sessions are relatively expensive. I mean, people cannot see from certain perspective when it comes to pricing about psychotherapy, because there is no golden standards. Every psychotherapist chooses their own price. The thing is that psychologists, until become those therapists, they're also, it's kind of like being a doctor. Sometimes you treat people in 10 minutes, but you guys always say, it's not 10 minutes, it's 10 years plus 10 minutes, right? We do the same thing as a psychologist. We also study like 4 to 5 years, and then we have to gather many certificates, and that costs money. I wish from the bottom of my heart that the psychotherapy was more accessible everyone around the world.
There is an idea right now that AI could be an emergent psychotherapist. Is that so?
I don't believe so, because especially ChatGPT or most of the AI are programmed to be in favor of you. So they answer you in favor
to make you
please
into the emerging narcissist that you are.
Exactly.
To enable your psychological problems.
Exactly. But psychotherapist, on the other hand, doesn't have to. Actually, even in an opposite direction, has to challenge you in a certain way. Yeah,
like a friend.
Like a friend. Like a friend, like a brother, father, maybe as a father role. Because mainly psychotherapy sessions are facing about something that you are avoiding or suppressing. So no ChatGPT or no AI will tell you, look, listen to me, you are acting like an asshole and you have to come to yourself and to see in the mirror. Yeah. I mean, a good psychotherapist should do that and should remind you sometimes that you are behaving wrong, and that's fine. We all do mistakes, but
do better.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that part of the mental health it's important, and I hope, like I said, we have an access for everyone. But unfortunately, it is logistics. There is not enough people who study psychology. Because it is also very, I don't want to say niche. It's not niche, but you really have to be. Yes, yes.
Are psychologists boring?
Sometimes, but 99% of them are crazy. I can say that. For that, they are psychologists. They can make a really good empathy about those what we label as issues. So. As far as from my experience, I haven't seen any psychologist who would be very. Eventually, they become
psychologically sound.
Yeah, like exactly sound and safe. Again, we can come to this education. In the previous episodes, we said that there is no sexual or emotional education within the middle school, high school, and so on. It would be a great step for mental health to be better if we educate our kids. In an early ages about emotions, how they can regulate those emotions, how they can create better social interactions, sexually, emotionally,
And this is also very different depending on where you live and culturally. Because rural areas, for example, no matter where you live, do not offer the same support as a big Western city, for example.
Yeah, definitely. But is it better or good, worse for the mental health? It is very. Well, we can discuss.
It's supply and demand.
Yeah,
of course. It's true that the places with the greatest supply are also the same. The ones with the greatest demand as well. But the worst option is to have mental health problems and be in a place that doesn't support you.
Oh yeah.
And there's cultural differences as well. Like for example, in Eastern culture, it would be like being a shame for the family if you expose your emotional issues.
Oh, definitely.
And this is very different around the globe. But it's
gender with the culture and cultures
and the expectations to gender is different. True.
Women in, let's say, more Eastern cultures tend to have more mental health issues because their freedom is more
limited
there, exactly. But also at the same time, men actually, when you check on that statistics, most of the suicides are committed by men.
By men, yeah. Marriage is actually very positively correlated with happiness. Most of the time. Of course, this is very individual. But at the same time, an unhappy marriage is a very strong...
Yeah, you know what Socrates says? No matter what, marry. If your wife is good, you will be happy. If not, you will be a philosopher. Of course, a healthy marriage... In that case, healthy marriage is definitely good for men.
It's also predictive of a longer life in men.
Yeah. Or we can look at from this perspective. Actually, loneliness is way more unhealthy for your mental health, more than cigarettes.
Constant quarreling.
Cigarettes, alcohol. Really, there's cigarettes, literally cigarettes, is, I will not say less harmful, but that type of pathological loneliness causes more somatic problems rather than cigarettes. For that, we are saying, if you have good, strong social community and connections, smoke, drink, enjoy life, because it doesn't affect as much as loneliness. So it does, actually. It does. There are many...
That's a fact. It's and later necrophilia. Way to water down that episode.
Well, definitely having a pet, even we are using them like an emotional support. There is a literal label.
Emotional using support. Pets afterward this Pets help.
Yeah, pet helps. Yeah, definitely. Pet.
Don't tell Peter.
Other aspects of mental health?
Gut microbiota.
How?
Yeah, we know there is a link about gut health and mental health, although right now nobody knows how and why. But many
recent studies are expanding on gut and mental health connection.
It's just very emerging, and there's a lot of bad science around it, because there's some people saying that they know how it works. They don't. And there's a lot of expensive tests for your microbiota. And it's true, but nobody can interpret it right. What we know right now is that, yes, there is correlation.
Definitely.
But that's all.
Just because you said gut, it reminded me that how much mental health is affected by the food we are eating. So the way how we design our food culture is very important, I guess, because nowadays there is this very popular tendency to find bio foods all the time, bringing food from the villages and directly taking from the farmers and so on. Definitely there is a link between good quality food, but how many of
But it ain't that. It's not bio. You just need to eat the right stuff. Yeah. But if it comes from the bio store or not, it doesn't
from the ass of the chicken directly.
It just has to be the right diet. Yeah. And the Mediterranean diet is.
But we are really, whenever you enter a supermarket, for example, how many of those sections are truly, let's say, mental health friendly? Coke, all those sodas, chips. They are all, when you look at in the behind, those little explanations and ingredients, what it includes. I see so many things that I even don't know.
I believe right now everybody has enough information to know what they should eat for best physical and mental health. So right now it's pretty much just your choice and will. That is already pretty clear. And we definitely should mention exercise.
Oh, yeah.
Exercise is fundamental for mental health. And
definitely
for memory as well, because we didn't mention it in the memory episode. One of the best ways to make your memory better is just being physically fit. And actually it's an interesting phenomenon right now, because we have been so stressing on that connection between the body and the mind, but in the other way around. Like damaging your body, we know that it damages your brain as well, your mind. But the other way around is also true. Like bad mental health predicts bad physical health and a shorter lifespan.
No, definitely.
So they are connected in both ways.
Yeah, considering that we have grown in office businesses and jobs, we became less and less mobile.
Yeah.
And we do not do physical job as we used to do. In bigger cities, mainly we work with our mental capacities, and we sit in front of a computer and we just work on that on one seat.
Yeah.
So it really definitely changes the way how we move, and that also changes our mental health.
In summary, I would say that right now it's very clear what you need to do to promote mental health. Like those basic things, having enough sleep, have a good diet, have exercise and so on. But at some point it always comes to your social circle, and that isn't that easy to modify if you have lost that too far away in the past.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So
I believe we should definitely talk about, especially around this topic about being social or loneliness. We can call it that way.
Because this is the hardest thing to modify of all these things. You can always make your diet better, you can always sleep better and so on. But if you're too far into a specific social life and it's giving you bad mental health, it's going to be hard to get out of that.
A person who enjoys or who is like comfortable about being alone is, I believe in my case, it's never a lonely person. I believe the true loneliness is when a person is trying to socialize and connect with other people, and yet still
it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like, it can be many different reasons. It can be internal reasons. He might be very introvert, or he was not maybe able to explain his intentions, emotions, and so on. Maybe he doesn't have enough good social skills to connect with other people. Or it can be just really the society that he is or she's involved in. So that is very, very difficult and unhealthy. And like you said, it is very difficult to shape that. Like you said, you can in control of your sleeping, but unfortunately you are not in control of your social environment.
At least not to that extent.
Yeah.
That's why I said if you're too far gone, because at some point it might be too late, because you could have left those social skills
back.
No, it's not. Yeah, you could have left those social skills on a very low level.
Yeah.
And it might be too
difficult
late
to regain.
To make them better.
Yeah. Again, childhood plays a very big role for us to develop those social skills, and after some certain ages, as you said, it takes way longer time
and more energy.
Energy to build.
And going back to the personality episodes, extroverts are happier.
Happier, yeah.
And that usually goes through better self-esteem.
Yeah, definitely. Self-esteem is really important, and it plays a key role in health, even in physical health. We, have lots of cases that being a bit more self-confident about that you will be fighting and winning that battle, even in a physical health, and positive mindset helps you be more actually healthy.
Yeah, there's an interesting connection between serotonin, one of the neurotransmitters that probably is behind being content and happy, and your posture. A lower serotonin usually makes you husk like this, and higher serotonin makes you open up. So, in summary, mental health
is important.
Genius.
Yeah.
I would just like to stress again.
Yeah, please.
Social connections and a good social support. Yeah, that's behind good mental health.
Well, it is a milestone of our overall well-being and species. Exactly. And
next episode.
What should we do for the next episode?
Interspecies prostitution.
No idea then.
Yeah,
we'll
figure something out.
Until then, take care of yourself.
Bye.
And yeah. Tschüss.
This video has been brought to you by Nuance Psychology.